Hi, sweeties. I've got a good one for you today. Bacon upside down jalapeno cornbread. That's right. And you're going to get a little bit of the behind the scenes of me shooting the photos of this for Good Morning America Digital. Shouts out to Good Morning America. So if you are here from Good Morning America, please leave me a comment below and say, hey. Now let's get into this cornbread recipe. But first, please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, that notification bell. And now let's get into this bacon upside down jalapeno cornbread recipe. Let's go over the ingredients. We've got some jalapenos, and we're going to taste those to see how hot they are. And you can add 1 or 2 depending on how hot you like your food. We've got an onion here we're going to chop up and a little oil to saute those in. We've got all-purpose flour, and you can substitute that with gluten-free all-purpose flour if you need to. Cornmeal, this is white cornmeal, but you can use yellow cornmeal. A little bit of kosher salt, sugar, baking powder, cottage cheese. Yeah, I know you don't like cottage cheese, but trust me, it's okay. You're going to love this. You won't taste the cottage cheese. It'll just make our cornbread so nice and moist. A little lemon for tang and tenderness. Our thick hickory smoked bacon and some eggs. We're going to get a couple of quick shots of the ingredients before we get started. All right, let's get on with it. I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees. Let's start chopping these jalapenos, and I'm going to start with 2. And I'm going to cut around the seeds and the ribs because they kind of just get in the way, but we'll just cut around those. And let's take a taste, see just how spicy this jalapeno is. That is not spicy at all. Let's check this one. Let's try this jalapeno. Get rid of these. Let's try this one. Give this one a taste. Ooh, that one is spicy. We'll use these 2. I'm going to go ahead and dice these really small. We want about 1/4 cup total. Now let's chop up our onion. Oops, got a little. Break that off. Might need the whole thing. Let's get that cast iron pan on the stove and heat it just over medium. We're going to saute our onions and peppers, vegetable oil. And this is just to soften them, not really to make them brown or cook them through. We just want them to soften and lose some of the rawness. That looks good. Let's pull this out and then carry on with the rest of our dish. Let's shut this pan off and let it cool down because we're going to use this in a few more minutes. See how that has lost some of its moisture and has gotten nice and tender. We'll let the onions and peppers cool off before we mix them into our batter. Let's combine the dry ingredients together. Do our cornmeal, flour, sugar, and this doesn't make it a sweet cornbread, but it balances the flavor. Salt, and baking powder. The amounts will be in a link in the description box. That's more salt. And the baking powder. Just whisk them together just to combine. Now let's crack our eggs into the bowl. Oh, it was a double yolk. Beat them together. I love this little tool. So we've got our eggs in the bowl. Now we can stir in the rest of our wet ingredients. Our cottage cheese. Then we will stir in some fresh squeezed lemon juice, and that lemon juice helps give us a very tender cornbread. So the cottage cheese for moisture and the lemon juice for tenderness, moist and tender. So good. We've got our beaten eggs, cottage cheese, and lemon juice in this bowl. We'll combine our dry ingredients, the flour, cornmeal, salt, baking powder, and a little bit of sugar. And we'll also add in our diced onions and jalapeños. And stir that on around. I'm going to stir that up, and it's a little bit thick, so we're going to put just a splash of milk in there. Just about a tablespoon at a time until it's pourable. Now you might not need to add any milk to yours because sometimes cottage cheese is a little drier than other times. That looks good. Yeah, that's what we want. Let's get our cast iron skillet that's now cooled off and our bacon. We're going to have to trim it, or at least some of it, and lay it into our pan. So the first slice, then we'll start putting our bacon into the skillet. That's another whole piece right there. Then we'll have to trim a piece to make it a little shorter. So this one, we just cut a little piece off. We'll put one there. And then that little end we cut off, we'll put right there. We're going to cook this on the stove just to get it started so we won't have raw bacon in our corn. Now we just want to cook this bacon for about 3 minutes, just until it starts to get brown on that side. Then we're going to flip it over, but keep it in order. At this point, we just want to render off some of the fat and par cook the bacon just a little bit. All right, it's time to flip. That's only been about 3 minutes. We're going to shut that off, and we just want it to start getting brown on that one side because this is the side that's going to be in the cornbread, and you just don't want it to be raw in there up against your cornbread. And then we'll just par cook it on that one side and flip them over and shut the heat off because it's going to finish cooking as the cornbread bakes. So we've shut off the bacon, and now it's time to gently spoon our cornbread batter over the bacon slices. And you want to be gentle because you don't want to knock your bacon slices out of place. You just want to make sure all the bacon is covered. And then we're going to pop that in our preheated 400-degree oven. And remember to check the description box for the full recipe. And into the oven. It's time to check our cornbread. She is so pretty. Let's test it with the wooden skewer. And that is clean, y'all. That's done. We're going to let it cool off for about 10 minutes and then flip it. You need to take a knife, run it around the edge just to make sure that nothing is stuck. There we go. All the way around. Ooh, it smells so good. Y'all ready? I'm going to put on my silicone heat protecting gloves and put this cutting board on top. Say a little prayer. Grab both handles. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, that is beautiful. Let me give you a close-up look on that. Look at that pretty thing. Oh my goodness. Now bring that to your Thanksgiving table. Okay, see what I'm saying? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let me get a few shots of this and then we'll slice it up. Let's slice into this pretty thing. I don't even know where to begin. She's so gorgeous. Cut there. And a cut there. Look at that. See the jalapenos throughout, the bacon on top, and it's moist. Moist, moist, moist. Look. Look. Moist. Let's taste it. I mean, y'all, this is so good. The bacon gives it that smokiness. It is so moist and tender. And it's not sweet. I added sugar to the batter. That's really to balance it out. We're not making cake here. It's not a sweet cornbread, but it kind of enhances the corn flavor. You have to try it. Please subscribe to Sweet Savant. Hit that thumbs up, that notification bell. Have a delicious cornbread-filled day. Don't miss my upside down Vidalia onion cornbread video. Click right here.